Hello and welcome to this edition of Pimp My Diecast, where we'll be taking this dinky Land Rover fire engine from a total mess to a very nice, and it is a very nice one as well, and it's been a kid painted or maybe even an adult painted. There were no masking, no glorying about it. It was probably dipped in a bouquet of paint. And it was all black paint, so possibly umbrella enamel. How the sticker remained on the door, I don't know. As Toya Wilcox once said, "It's a mystery, it's a mystery." Anyway, enough of that. And as you can see, it's had quite a rough little life. It got different wheels on it at the end, because I tried straightening the axles but it just wasn't having it. And anyway, I did some stripping, didn't strip some, left some bits on. Some have stripped some, but I think I've got a really nice job the way I've done it. As you can see, it's taking a bit long on this thing. It is black paint, it looks greeny there, but that's paints I've been spraying that's settled on top of it. So it's got extra paints on top of the kids' paints, really. Like the little gems are frozen on. Anyway, it's an unscrewable, like the old Dinkies were, some of them, and just pop the base off. It's been that heavily painted, it's even inside, and I had to pop bits off the paint that were stuck on with paint. Unscrewing the back end there. All they did was drill a normal Land Rover casting, and they made this casting to mount on the back. And I always wanted this casting, but I never got it as a kid. And this one turned up on eBay and I thought it'd make an ideal video. And we actually had one of these at my local fire station, a real one, not the model obviously. Why we had it, I live in a countryside area with moorlands, and they were ideal on the moors for moor fires, where the heavier fire pumps couldn't get up and other fire appliances couldn't get up on the moors. The Land Rover were ideal. Nowadays they probably do it with helicopters, but back then it was Landis. No, ain't nobody that rich back then. And here I'm trying to get out the glass. When they've been painted like this, it's half the battle to get the glass out without it cracking, because it's stuck in with paint. I was brave and went for it straight off, and as it happens, it worked. So happy days. Just chucking the parts that'll go in. They're in for stripping the paint. In the small one, I'm chucking the small parts in. And it's in methylated spirits, if you were wondering. And I've got a bigger jar there for the bigger parts. I want to chuck in. And that's the ones in the meths. I don't think I've actually got it on video, but the actual larger parts of the model, like the body and the chassis and the back part, were put in caustic. Why I didn't record it, I don't know. It's forgotten. And here I'm polishing up the base with silver water salt. Yeah, and the Dinky model back then, it looked cool, especially considering we had one based local. And there we go, it's all stripped off and all the die-cast is polished up with Solval, where I want it to be bare alloy. And we're putting it into primer. And the doors. Come on baby, light my fire. Come on baby, light my fire. And yeah, the doors. I can't remember a group called The Bonnet, otherwise I might have sung their song as well. Because I do the bonnet in a bit. And there we go, got the body on. It's quite a nice model. I don't honestly know whose were the nicest, Dinkies or Corgis. I like Corgis in some ways. There you go, there's the bonnet getting a coat of paint. It looked well. And here's the body getting a coat of its red. So that one looks well. Looking good. Starting to look cool. And that's the rear. I'm just pulling off masking there, and it pulled a bit of paint, so I'm touching up. There, I sprayed some of the red into a cap and then applied it with a cocktail stick. I weren't too bothered at this stage because it were gonna get clear lacquer on it. And we're doing the decals for the doors. Which is quite nice. They also do a German version. I think it's German, it's continental. They do different decals for it, if you want to build the German version. It's German, Dutch, whatever, it's on continent. And here we are, there's all parts. After paint removal, polishing, painting, and just general cleaning. Looking a lot better. And if anyone's just starting out doing model restorations, I mean, this is quite a complex one for a beginner. But if you're a beginner, look for some of the Dinkies that are screwed together rather than riveted. If you don't fancy taking on rivets, this is where I tried straightening the axles. And to a degree I straightened the axles out. but because it had been bent and stood on, the wheels were bent and they still flopped over anyway, so it wasn't working. So I robbed a set off another Land Rover in my stash. Who knows, if I do that one I may look for a set of realistic wheels for it, because it's not a bad Land Rover casting. Who knows? Anyway, I'm doing some paint touching up on the, well, painting the engine silver, engine and some of the ancillaries. It's hard work when I'm having quite a bad day at the moment for me shakes, so it's been quite hard painting the details. Frustrating and hard. I get very annoyed because I'd get near it and then I'd switch, and but there we go. Such is life. Life? Don't talk to me about life. Anyway, you can see the pumping gear on the rear there, looking quite detailed. Anyway, at this point, I'm putting on the beacons and polishing off some of the black tack I accidentally got on it, which was a nightmare to polish off. Note to self, watch where you get black tack. And there we go, the beacons are in. Just put a little dab of super glue at the back to keep them there. And there I was spraying on zip kicker before I put the glass in. I don't want the glass glued in anyway. And here's where we finished up. A perfectly finished off Dinky Land Rover fire engine. Looking very, very smart. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please can I ask you to subscribe? And better than that, if you also tick the bell icon to give you notifications when I have videos coming up. If you've already subscribed and you stuck with me, that's absolutely dandy. And even better, if you'd love, I'd like it anyway, if you put in the comments down below what country you're watching in. That'd be absolutely spiffing. Anyway, all I have to do is say now. That was a bad shout then. All I have to say now is tatty pie, everybody. Tatty pie. And take care out there.